Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust her.
Because you bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life.
Let's take it all the way back for a second. Remember when Tamar straight up blocked her own sister Toni Braxton on social media? Yeah, that wasn't even the wildest part. Toni only found out she was blocked when she tried to tag Tamar on her birthday. Imagine trying to show love only to realize your own sister shut the door in your face online. But here's where things really start bubbling. Insiders say this wasn't just a petty move. Tamar had apparently been out here whispering behind the scenes, throwing dirt on Toni's name. And the name that kept coming up in the middle of this messy storm, none other than Birdman. Yep, the same Birdman that Toni had been linked to for years. Now, folks in the know claim the whole marriage and split with Birdman may not have been about love at all. Word on the street is Toni might have been playing chess, not checkers. Some even claim she saw Birdman as a business move to stay afloat, since her finances were rumored to be shaky at the time. And guess who's been pushing that exact same story lately? Tamar. Allegedly, she's been fueling the narrative, telling folks her sister used Birdman for the come-up. So now, people are wondering, is all this behind-the-scenes talk Tamar's way of getting revenge? Could she be trying to air out old wounds now that their relationship is cracking under pressure? What we do know, the Braxton family drama ain't never been quiet. But this latest chapter might just be the loudest yet. So let's talk about Tamar's total online breakdown, because baby, it was intense. Right before she went ghost and wiped her social media, Tamar hit up her X page and dropped a string of emotional, raw posts that had everybody clutching their phones. She straight up said her own family was toxic, and the things she wrote, they weren't light. In one now deleted post, she cried out, "Y'all have no idea. None. The gaslighting is crazy and I'm going back into treatment. OMG, I just prayed that my marriage can be saved and my life can be spared." Yeah, she went there. Tamar wasn't just venting, she was spiraling. She followed it up with another post saying, "I'm so mad at my life. My family is toxic. I should have never gone back to BFE, and that wasn't just about feelings. It was tied to some very real drama brewing behind the scenes of Braxton family values."
Toni Braxton!
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%?
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this.
She says to me, "I hear you have Gucci flatware." I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big, this big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
Here's where it gets even messier. Tamar recently revealed that in the new season, she was asked to be Tawanda's maid of honor. Sounds sweet, right? Not so fast. Tamar said the invitation felt super fake. She wasn't even invited to the bridal shower or included in any of the planning. According to her, she got a random text just 1 week before the wedding saying, "Hey, can you be the maid of honor?" Like, what? Meanwhile, Toni and Trina were fully involved in the whole thing, picking dresses, helping with planning front and center, while Tamar felt pushed out like an afterthought. She said the tension wasn't just with Tawanda either. Her now husband has allegedly been stirring the pot too, talking slick about Tamar and adding more fuel to an already burning fire. Because of all that shade, Tamar said no thanks to the wedding invite. She didn't go. And what's even sadder is that we always thought Toni and Tamar were at least on good terms, but apparently not. Sources say their issues go back to last year, and guess how Toni found out she was blocked by her own sister when she tried to wish Tamar a happy birthday and couldn't even tag her? So let's talk about how Toni herself broke the silence and low-key exposed the mess in the most elegant way possible. She went on Instagram and wrote, "I wanted to repost that gorgeous picture of you, but I'm blocked. Again. Anyway, happy birthday, Tae-woo." That "again" part said everything. Real subtle, but the shade was loud. But Tamar didn't let that slide. She clapped back, saying Toni was gaslighting her. According to Tamar, Toni could have just called instead of running to social media like that. Then, to add more to the drama, Tamar even posted receipts, screenshots of their texts, showing the two trying to figure out which city the other was in. It was giving confused but tense vibes, like they were circling around the issue, but never really addressing it head on. Now, here's where it gets messy for real.
Like a lot of people don't understand, my second bankruptcy was because I was sick. I have lupus, and my show in Vegas got canceled.
And the insurance wouldn't cover
The
it.
insurance didn't cover it, so I had to pay myself. And so
That's a lot. That was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money to put up a show. People don't understand that. If you see a concert, you see the lights, you see the band on stage, the artist pays for all that. The hotel rooms, the salary.
While it's still unclear when this sister fallout really began, insiders say Tamar has allegedly been out here talking sideways about Toni, specifically claiming that Toni was never really in love with Birdman. According to whispers, Tamar's been saying the whole relationship was about securing the bag and not much else. Allegedly, she thinks Toni used Birdman for his status and money. Let's rewind. When Birdman and Toni first started dating, they both hinted at marriage being on the table. Fans were expecting a wedding, but the date just kept getting delayed. Toni said it was because of their schedules, but a lot of folks ain't buying that. If someone really wants to get married, wouldn't they find a way? Then came the wild twist. Remember that $1 million engagement ring? Yeah, Toni claimed it was stolen out of her checked luggage during a flight. People were instantly suspicious. Why would you even pack something like that in checked baggage? The whole thing felt off. And to this day, folks still believe that ring disappearing was more than just bad luck. So boom, in 2019, everything took a turn. Out of nowhere, Birdman hit his Instagram with a super cryptic message. "It's over." No explanations, no names, just those two words. And then, like clockwork, he deleted every single picture of Toni from his page. Clean slate. Fans were shook, like, what just happened? Meanwhile, Toni responded in her own way. She posted a stunning photo of herself in a deep red gown, glowing head to toe, and captioned it, "Starting a new chapter isn't always an easy choice, but always choose to be chosen. Cheers to a new year." If that wasn't a poetic goodbye, I don't know what is.
Tracy is the one who said to me, "Toni, you know, when you make it, you can help us come on." So I always try to abide that. But the responsibility of it is so heavy for me. I feel I can never live my life, and I never used to say it. I never used to say anything to anybody, but since we've been doing this show, I've been saying it. Mommy and Daddy's divorced, and a divorced mom pretty much got nothing. I'm not gonna leave my mom by herself. So I'm gonna make sure my mother's taken care of. None of my siblings have helped me take care of my mother to make sure she was okay, except for Tamar. No one said,
This is before Vincent.
before Vince, Mommy's car insurance is due. Let's help Toni with Mommy car insurance.
The energy screamed, fresh start, no looking back. But plot twist. Just weeks later, Toni and Birdman popped up together again. This time, they reunited on stage during Toni's tour stop at the iconic Fox Theater in Atlanta. The crowd went crazy. Hugs, smiles, a little spark in the air, and just like that, people were convinced they were back on. Then fast forward to December 2023. And Toni decided to clear the air again. She jumped online to shut down all the marriage rumors, writing #fake news. My dear friend Birdman and I are not married, never been married. We are both single sounds pretty direct, right? But hold up, because 2024 had another twist waiting. Turns out, Toni and Birdman actually did get married. Secretly. And how do we know? Court documents came to light showing that TB and BW had filed legal paperwork. And let's be real, it didn't take a genius to figure out who those initials stood for. Even wilder? According to those same documents, the marriage only lasted 48 hours. Yup, not even a full weekend. They tied the knot, then untied it just like that. No public statements, No press, just legal trails and broken timelines. Now, according to court documents, this whole Toni and Birdman situation took a wild left turn and then another. They secretly tied the knot on August 8th, and just 2 days later, August 10th, they were already separated. No honeymoon, no announcement, no nothing. It was all behind the scenes until the paperwork started popping up. 2 weeks after that sudden split, Toni officially filed for divorce. In the legal docs, her attorney claimed the marriage was irretrievably broken, which basically means there's no fixing this. Done deal, right? Wrong. Because just when folks thought it was over for good, boom, another twist. In January 2025, Toni withdrew the divorce filing. And guess what? Birdman signed off too. So technically, they're still legally married. Yep, husband and wife on paper. But let's be real, it's murky. There's been no sign of a happy reunion. No red carpets, no interviews, not even a casual post online. Both of them have removed all traces of each other from their Instagram pages, and no rings have been spotted on either hand. It's like the marriage never even happened. And that's exactly why the rumors came roaring back. People are now side-eyeing the whole thing, saying Toni may have married Birdman for financial security. Let's not forget, over the years, she's had public money struggles, including past bankruptcy filings. So when fans saw her connect with someone as wealthy and business-savvy as Birdman, questions started flying. But let's not act like Toni Braxton isn't legendary in her own right. She's one of the most iconic R&B voices to ever do it. She first started out in the late 80s with her sisters as part of the Braxtons, before stepping out on her own. When she dropped her debut solo album in 1993, it took over. That album went straight to #1 on the Billboard 200 and sold over 10 million copies worldwide. Toni Braxton's rise to fame, nothing short of iconic. Her debut album didn't just make noise, it dominated. With standout tracks like Breathe Again and Another Sad Love Song, she quickly became the new voice of heartbreak and soul. The album's magic was fueled by heavy-hitting producers like Babyface and Antonio L.A. Reid, and it turned her into a household name overnight. Then came Secrets, the follow-up album that pushed her even higher. That project featured the mega smash Unbreak My Heart, which is still considered one of the biggest heartbreak anthems ever. That single alone moved 10 million copies worldwide and is ranked among the top-selling singles of all time, period. Over the years, Toni has dropped a total of 9 studio albums, with her most recent one landing in 2020. And let's be clear, each one brought success, recognition, and solid numbers. So with all that star power and global sales that reportedly earned over $170 million for her label, you'd think Toni was swimming in cash, right? Wrong. What shocked a lot of fans is that despite all that success, Toni Braxton filed for bankruptcy more than once. Her first major issue came when she was signed to Layface Records. Even though she was selling millions of albums, she was reportedly making less than 35 cents per sale. Imagine generating a fortune for a label and barely seeing a dime. Toni eventually filed a lawsuit against her label, and just 8 weeks later, in January 1998, she also filed for bankruptcy. Later, she revealed the ugly truth. She'd earned less than $2,000 in royalties at the time and was still being held responsible for expenses like wardrobe, travel, studio time, and music video production. All of that came out of her own pocket. The math just wasn't mathing. It got even more complicated when, during her bankruptcy, she was accused of transferring over $53,000 to her then-husband, Kerry Lewis, to allegedly keep it from creditors. That move raised a lot of eyebrows and added more pressure to an already public financial mess. Around that same time, she appeared on Oprah, hoping to share her side and clear the air. But instead of sympathy, she said she walked away feeling humiliated. According to Toni, Oprah came off judgmental and cold, making her feel like her struggles were her fault. And just when you thought Toni Braxton had finally caught a break, life hit her again. In 2010, she had to file for bankruptcy for the second time. But this time, it wasn't because of bad contracts or industry drama. It was her health. Toni was diagnosed with microvascular angina and later, lupus, two serious conditions that completely changed her world. The diagnoses forced her to pull out of a high-paying Las Vegas residency deal, which had been one of her most secure money moves. And for an artist whose financial past was already rocky, losing that kind of steady income was devastating. That residency could have been her financial reset, but instead, it slipped right through her fingers. But the setbacks didn't stop there. In 2019, the IRS came knocking. On December 4th, they filed a tax lien claiming Toni owed exactly $340,252.90 in back taxes for the year 2017. Then, just a few days later, bam, the State of California Franchise Tax Board hit her with another lien, this time for $116,154.64. That brought the total to just under $500,000 in unpaid taxes. And all this was going down while Toni was still trying to keep everything afloat, not just for herself, but for her entire family. She's opened up many times about how she had to step up financially and emotionally, saying she was the one constantly picking up the pieces. Meanwhile, she claimed that her sisters, the same ones who shared the spotlight in the beginning, weren't doing nearly as much to help behind the scenes. Imagine being one of the most successful R&B artists of your generation, dealing with health issues, tax problems, and still being expected to carry the load for your whole family. That kind of pressure would break most people. So at this point, yeah, a lot of folks believe Toni married Birdman for the money. And honestly, when you lay everything out, the theory doesn't sound too far-fetched. With her past financial troubles, 2 bankruptcies, and all those tax liens, people are connecting dots. But here's what's got everyone really raising eyebrows. Why is Tamar allegedly out here backing that narrative? I mean, they're sisters. Even if there's bad blood, what do you gain by pushing that kind of talk into the spotlight? Has their relationship really gotten that toxic? Because from what I'm hearing, Birdman's not letting it slide. Word on the curb is he already had a little chat with Tamar and let her know he wasn't feeling the gossip at all. Now, here's the thing. With the next season of Braxton Family Values right around the corner, people are starting to ask if this is all part of the game. Could the drama be intentional? Is the chaos just a setup to bring more eyes to the show? Because let's be real, nobody tunes in for peace and harmony. Whether it's real tension or just TV tactics, one thing's for sure. The Braxtons know how to keep us talking. But what do you think? Is this a real family feud or just another reality show storyline cooked up for attention? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in. Because this season's drama ain't even started yet. You already know we've got more heat coming, so stick around to see what's on our radar next.